let's just sew whatever. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be making this cute little glasses case by Simple Artful Stuff. It is so cute. So Anne contacted me and asked if I wanted to kind of collaborate on a pattern that she was designing. She's been working on this for a very long time. It's so cute. So basically what it is one pattern that you purchase, and then there are tons of little add-ons that you can purchase separately for different shaped glasses, different things like that. So we're doing a little promotion where you can get the Lauren frame, which comes with Ben, of course, because I and Ben, it just makes sense, you know? So if you purchase any zipper pulls from my website that I have, like literally any, you're gonna get an email with a code on how to redeem it. So you add the regular pattern and then you get the promo pack free when you add it to your cart as well, and then enter the code. So you'd hit show order summary and enter your code in, and then you get this majestic creature. So I actually added the little snaggletooth because my Ben has a snaggletooth. He's not self-conscious about it either. And this took like no time at all to make. It was really fun. I will admit that Anne cut all of this out for me and interfaced it and sent everything except the zipper tape and the zipper pull. So thank you so much for that. And she actually kind of designed it to match the sunglasses that I have. So super cool. I'm really excited to have something to hold my sunglasses in because I used to have a holder and then I forgot it and then I lost it and then I just never used it. So these are great little eyeglass holders. And stuff. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Her link is down below, as well as the link to my zipper pulls, which are so cute. So yeah, if you guys are new, be sure to subscribe, and if you're old, that's cool too. I don't know that I meant to say that. I meant like if you're an older, so let's just make the thing now. Okay, so once you've got all your pieces cut out, do not fuse your fleece, only fuse it to one side, and this is going to be the side that you're not going to be sewing your accent piece onto. That's just going to help reduce bulk and kind of any mess ups you may have when adding the applique. Okay, so now that we have one side fused, we've got all of our pieces cut out. I've got my zipper cut to the requirements for the large size, and we can kind of get started on adding the little kitty cat, the little Benjamin. So we're going to start by placing the eye color in the background. So you can use any kind of little scraps. That's why I love little patterns like this, because it's so easy to just use up little scraps that you've got laying around. So there we have his perfect little green eyes. And then you can use a permanent marker to draw a line for the eyes. I'm probably going to do that a little bit after I sew it all together. Okay, make sure you've applied basting tape to the back. Okay, so we've got our basting tape added. And it's pretty much just a lot of little pieces. This is 1/4 inch wide double-sided basting tape. Great stuff to have on hand, and it should be okay with most machines because you're not going to be sewing through a lot of it. So just kind of keep in mind all of that. Okay, so we want to kind of line up where it's gonna go, check it out from the front, make sure everything looks okay. Oh, it's so cute. And then you'll go ahead and peel off that backing tape. From the area, and then just kind of stick it on with the tape. Yes, okay, great. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. Okay, so we've got all of that on. So we want to add a little bit of basting tape to the back of the cat so that nothing shifts while we're sewing this all together. And these patterns have awesome diagrams. They're so well written. And just kind of, they're just really fun. I love patterns that allow you to be as creative as possible, and Anne has really written these to be as creative as possible. I love that so much. Okay, find my trash can. So again, you want to find the front piece that you have not applied any of your fleece to yet. If you applied fleece, well, I'm sorry to tell you, but you did it wrong. So now we want to place this on our main panel, and it's kind of, I mean, it's an add-on kit, so it's not going to have all the instructions you need in the one pattern. Oh wow, I totally messed that one up, didn't I? Yep, I sure did. It's fine. There we go. So we'll just get all of our tape peeled off. And if you're worried that you're going to place it wrong to start or anything like that, you could just peel off the tape from each side, place one side, and then kind of get the other side adjusted. But this tape is holding really nicely. And this is just a printed vinyl sheet for the main fabric. It's so cute. Okay, so 1 inch down from the top of case. Okay, perfect. So I'm taking my little 1 inch ruler. So the cat is going to be up a little bit higher, but I'm kind of centering my frames at the 1 inch line. And then the cat is up a little bit higher, but it'll be about 1/2 inch from the top of his ear. Just kind of make sure it's centered. This doesn't look centered. Oh, it's just a little bit off. But that's okay, because I can just lift it up a little bit. Come on. Move it over. There we go. That feels much better. Okay, so now we're gonna start sewing this down. If you have a slimmer foot, that's probably ideal. But a walking foot is definitely needed for using vinyl. Okay. So I'm going to start by first stitching along my frame, and then I'm going to go ahead and change my thread color to do the cat, but I am going to add a little snaggle tooth while I've got the white thread in, because it wouldn't be Ben without a snaggle tooth, let's be honest. So you can set your stitch length anywhere between 3 and 4. I'm going to do 3.5 just to, I don't know, split the difference basically. And I'm just going to go really slow, about 1/8 of an inch from the outer edge. And then just kind of, you can use the reverse lever to make sure that your needle falls where you want it to. You could probably, if you have a domestic machine or any machine that allows a zigzag stitch, you could probably do like a wide zigzag too, with a solid color vinyl, just for a fun little accent piece, or accent stitch, I guess. I know words. And then you want to make sure things don't bunch up, so just take it a few stitches at a time. I think appliques are just so fun. And like they're time consuming, but the end result is just so unique because you can never do it the same way twice, you know? And you want to make sure you start with a full bobbin because, man, that would really not be good. And I'm going to kind of loop around here. And then I'm going to move on to the inside of the frame. And then I meet to where my stitches started. I will backstitch and kind of secure it, and then I'm going to do this last one. And you can snip your threads as you go if you want, but I kind of like to do it kind of like an embroidery machine where I leave my jump stitches. Okay, so I've got my little snaggle tooth added, and I've switched my thread color to black. And I'm just going to stitch around the top of his ears and then down around the side. Ben, what's up? Yeah. You want to come see? Come look. It's you. Oh, I got the snaggle tooth just right. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to go ahead and finish this. And then I'm back stitching on the black glitter vinyl and then just jumping over to the next piece. And we'll just trim that thread in a second. Okay, so I back stitched where the face ends and almost hits the frame, and I'm going to go around his eyes. And honestly, if you wanted to use black thread for the iris, pupil, the pupil, you could do that too. Which is probably what I'll do. I don't know. I may as well while I'm here. So I'll just stitch. And then I'll jump over to the next one. Okay, and then I can use a thread zapper to zap all my little excess threads. Just make sure you don't burn your vinyl, or yourself. Come on. And now we can fuse our fleece on and kind of prep our zipper, and then, I mean, you're almost done. Okay. Oh my gosh, super cute. And what's so fun is that no matter how many times you make this pattern, it's always going to look just a little bit different. And you can use up so many different scraps, little pieces of fabric you don't want to throw away, or like a keepsake type thing. So it's super fun. Okay, so when you're fusing this, you're going to want to be careful that you don't burn anything. So what we're going to do is we're going to lay our fleece on top. You can use a pressing cloth, but I'm just going to kind of slowly steam it. Get nice short bursts. And I'll hit the ends. There we go. Nicely fused. Very gently. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and prep my zipper. I'm going to grab my zipper genie. Oh, I guess it would help if I showed you guys. I'm going to grab my zipper pull. I decided the antique gold would kind of work best with this. Lift the end up. I'm going to make sure you go in as straight as possible. There we go. The zipper by the yard that I'm using is from My Handmade Space. And they have a 15% off code that is so whatever. Okay, so now I've got my zipper ends here. And you can use just vinyl, since the raw edges really aren't going to matter much. And you'll just line up one edge and then fold the other over. And it would kind of help if you wanted to. You can baste your zipper together here at the top. So that it doesn't shift. What do you think? I got a little hair on the chin. And then you're just going to top stitch about 1/8 of an inch from the edge. And then I'm going to go ahead and just trim off the little excess, if you have any, so that it's all nice and straight. Oh my gosh, this is my first time using one of these pulls. I'm super excited. Okay, so now that we've got that all ready to go, we're going to center our zipper on the main panel. And you can baste it in place, or you can go ahead and grab your lining piece as well. Clip that on. I'm just going to sew all the way across the top. Okay, and then I'm just pressing this down. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. Okay, so we're not gonna top stitch that just yet. We're gonna sew on the other side, and then she has a really fun way of top stitching it all together that is super cute. So you can fold in half to find your center or just kind of eyeball it. At this point, I'm just gonna line up the sides of my pouch so that everything's nice centered. And I would say this is definitely a beginner-friendly pattern. If you have a good experience with tracing and cutting, you should be totally fine. You don't need an industrial sewing machine to make this at all. Trim my excess threads, and then I'm going to press this from the lining side. I'm just gonna press it all nice and open. Okay, so now we are going to top stitch in a rectangle. So we're gonna start at our zipper tab, we're gonna work our way down to the other zipper tab, you're gonna go across and then along the other side. So it's like a rectangle stitch across the entire thing, which I personally have never seen before, but love the idea of. That's super cool. So make sure your lining is nice and pressed in the right direction. And I'm just doing a little bit of back stitching at those corners. The cat ears are going to be just at the top stitching, but you shouldn't sew through them unless it's placed just a little off, and then I'm sure you're fine. Back stitch, and then I'm finally back. So instead of back stitching, I'm going to kind of turn the corner to finish my stitch, just to secure it that much more. And then threads up. That just looks so cool. See that? I don't know. Why? Simple pleasures, guys. Simple pleasures. All right, so I'm trimming all my excess little threads. I'm gonna go ahead and unzip this. Probably a little more than halfway. You don't want your zipper pull to get in the way of anything. And then we are going to put our right sides together of the exterior and right sides together of the lining. And you want to make sure your zipper is pointing towards your lining. And then you can just kind of pull apart the layers. You definitely want to use some heavier clips for this. And then just in case things have shifted, let's say your curves don't line up perfectly, you'll want to make sure you're clipping from the side with your applique so that that remains centered and you don't lose your, like, the hard work, you know, that you've done. Then just kind of flatten the lining side. And you're going to be leaving a pretty hefty opening in your lining so that it's nice and easy to birth through. Probably about 4 inches. And then the opening is going to be along this side here so that when you look directly down into the bag, you're not going to see it. Okay, so I just marked out where I want to start and stop. So I'm going to start here, work my way around and stop there. Nope, starting at the zipper. What was I thinking? I'm going to change my stitch length to a 4. You could do a 3.5 also. This is just what's going to kind of work for me. Kind of flatten that out. And you want your seam allowance to be a little bit wider in the lining than your exterior. And now you can just follow along your fleece interfacing for the shape. Make sure you're pivoting nicely. I always like to give a little back stitch over where our zipper panel is. And then as you get to the lining, you can increase the seam allowance a bit. And then make sure that you back stitch at your next marking, your next Sharpie mark. Okay, there you have that. And then you can use pinking shears to trim it down if you want. I'm just going to trim this with regular old scissors because I did buy new pinking shears from a company that I cannot remember the name of right now. I think it's... I can see it in my head and I know it starts with an F. I'll include a link down below to their website. Fiore, I want to say. I think that's right. But they were super sweet. I met them at Dragon Con. And they are actually, I mean, he says so anyway. And I believe him. They are the ones that make the Tula Pink rainbow snips. They have rainbow snips that are unbranded. And they sharpen them. I have so many of these that I've bought that I can't use because they've gotten dull. And they're like, nope, you just... If you buy them from us, you just pay shipping and we'll sharpen them for you. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Okay, so I stuck my finger inside and unzipped it all the way. And now I'm going to start with the opposite corner and push that through. And then with like 3 or 4 fingers, you can just kind of push along that curve so that your seam sticks out nicely. And then here, taking my thumb and pushing out the zipper tab because we want to make sure that you've sewn right next to it, but not through it. Okay, well, we're going to push this one back out because I forgot we have to sew up that side seam. And it's not going to be easy if our zipper is all the way out. So you want to fold your raw edge in. Okay, so here I've got my zipper tab pointed out in the opposite direction. I'm going to kind of pull out that curve. Yep. And then we're going to sew that shut. And once you get it under your machine, you can kind of readjust that curve closing. There we go. And you can add a little tag here if you wanted to, but keep in mind, you don't want to use a fabric that's going to be like scratchy or rough on glasses, since that's what this is, and you would probably want to use a matching thread for your closure. So I'm going to stick that back in. I can use my thumb now to push that back out and then press everything from the opposite side. Okay, so I've got everything pressed. You can kind of readjust in your hands, and then you'll just, you know, zip it up. And there you have this cute little glasses case. So cute. So thank you so much, Anne, for working with me on this. I mean, I say working with me, but really you did all the work and you just said, do you want to do this? And I said yes. And that's it. I hope you guys check out her pattern. Also check out the new zipper pulls. These are all my original designs. So they're like buying artwork, but you can use it on stuff you make. And I'm so excited. And I'm really excited to make some more of these. I can see, you know, tons of scraps of vinyl used for these. You could use a cameo to cut them out. I mean, honestly, you could even use heat transfer vinyl with the shapes provided and not have as much sewing to do, but I mean, that's half the fun. I'm just saying that if you're like scared of it because of that, but you have other skills you could use to make it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to subscribe if you did, and I'll see you next time. Bye.